Well, they're just so fascinating. They're tiny little birds, and it's such a challenge to photograph. And you don't see a lot of things about them, a lot of videotapes or something. So I'm out there trying to find those little kernels of knowledge about birds that nobody's ever seen before.
And this fits 2 eggs at the most.
Yes, 2 eggs. About the size of coffee beans.
Here are Holly and her chicks, Berry and Bush. She built her nest low and her eggs survived. Berry and Bush have since flown away. Now we're going to take a closer look at their incredible nest.
It's an amazing structure, and they've got it stuck on there so well with just the spider webs and their saliva.
And so do they start at the bottom and then sort of work their way around? Like what does it look like as they're building it?
Yeah, they actually start with one spot, and they just keep putting fluff in that spot and wrapping it with spider webs. So they just sort of build on the one spot, and because they're forming it around their body, they really just tuck it in, sit on it, kick it out with their feet, wrap the outside with the spider web from their beak, go get more fluff and put it in the middle and kick it out. It all sort of gets built from the center and gets pushed to the outside and then wrapped with the spider web.
So how long does it take them to build something like this?
It takes about 200 to 250 visits of different material.
So this one made it, but some of the other ones that were on top, I understand, didn't.
That's right. I was following one in the top of an oak tree. It was about 60 feet up. And I heard a lot of commotion one day, and I looked up, and there were the crows, and the mother was fighting off the crows, but the crows are pretty big, and the crows got the chicks.
And so what are the chances of survival here for the mom?
This year, it's a little bit lower than usual. It's about a 50% mortality rate this year, but I've seen the survival rate be as much as 70%.
Okay.
So, it varies depending on the year. And this year, there's no birds of prey in this area to keep the crows away, so there's more crows. So that affects it as well. All the little things that go into the ecosystem determine how the mortality rate is.
So will the mom come back again next season?
They seem to have about 4 or 5 different nesting areas that they'll go to, very close in location. So chances are we'll see another nest in this bush next year. So she'll go to this bush, and then she'll go to another bush after this nest is gone. But they do sort of rotate through. So I've seen them come back to the same location 3 years in a row.
And once the nest is finished, are they ready then to lay their eggs?
Yeah, they'll lay their eggs, and they continue to work on the nest. But once they've laid their eggs, then they start to settle down about the construction of it. And it seems like that fire in their brain goes down, and then they start to think about sitting on the nest all the time. And they sit on it a long time, 3 weeks without any action, and then they finally start to get, the eggs will hatch. And the first time the mother sees the chick, she's ready to feed it. I don't know how they do that.
Next time on Hummingbird Hill, we'll take a closer look at Holly and her chicks, Berry and Bush, and watch them face some perils in their early days of survival.